Hello and welcome to Forest Heights Academy of Excellence ELA online summer enrichment class, and we're now on day 3. Hopefully you've been enjoying your summer, so let's find out what today's lesson is all about. So, standard that we're working on is determine the main idea of a text and explain how it's supported by key details. Summarize the text. So, we're going to be focusing on finding that main idea and recognizing the supporting details. So, let's get right into it. Finding the main idea. You have just finished reading a passage, and then there's this question: which statement describes a main idea of the article? So, what strategies or steps do you use to answer this question? Think about it for a moment. Do you have a plan when it's time to find the main idea of the article, the paragraph that you have just read? What are the steps that you take? Okay, and if you can't come up in your mind right now some exact steps that you take when you have to find the main idea, that's okay, because that's what I'm here to help you do. So, before trying to identify the main idea of the text, first work on identifying the topic. The topic is the subject or what the text is about. And how can we find the topic? Well, one of the places that you can start in nonfiction, especially, is the title. The title will usually tell you exactly what the topic of the passage will be. Okay, let's look here for a moment. Look at the newspaper headlines. All of the headlines are on what topic? Okay, all of the headlines are on the topic of the Super Bowl. I mentioned this, they're mentioning the Super Bowl, Super Bowl. But does that mean all the articles have the same main idea? There goes that word again, main idea. So the first thing we're doing in our process of finding the main idea, we said that we would focus on finding the topic of the text. And we said one of the places we could look would be the title or the subheadings in the text. So once you've identified the topic, continue to read to find what the author is sharing about the topic. So when we look at the main idea, we have 2 parts. The main represents the topic. The idea is what the author is sharing with you about the topic. Okay, so when you can give a statement that includes the topic and the specific part of the topic being discussed in the text, then you have your main idea. Okay, so now let's go back to the headlines, newspaper headlines. So when we looked at the newspaper headlines, we noticed that they all were on the same topic of the Super Bowl, but the ideas were different. The authors of the articles were expressing different ideas concerning the Super Bowl. One of the authors, his idea that he wanted to share about the Super Bowl was the fact that I guess Madonna performed during the halftime. So his ideas about the Super Bowl were concerning her music. And then this one's idea that he wanted to share about the Super Bowl was the streaming, the viewing of the Super Bowl. This one talks about idea about the Super Bowl is about leadership. This one's idea that he wanted to share about the Super Bowl was the commercials. So when we're looking for the main idea, we have to consider that it's in 2 parts. We need to know the topic first, and then we need to know what does the author want to share about the topic. And that will get us the main idea. Okay, so let's practice finding the main idea. I'm going to give you some time to read this text on your own. So you'll just simply need to pause the video, read, and press play when you're finished. Okay, so you finished reading and I'm back on. So before I would start reading, again, we said with nonfiction text, a good place to look would be with the title. So I start with the title and I notice it's Robin the Bird that loves to make clay pots. So I'm thinking that the topic it would be about this bird, the robin, and some of the ideas that the author wants to share with me in the text is going to be about the clay pots. So then I continue to read the entire passage all the way through. Now I'm ready to answer the question, what is the main idea of Robin, the bird that loves to make clay pots? And I would read through each of my answer choices, and I could use the process of elimination also to help me. So starting in here at the bottom, it says robins are a popular bird because they seem friendly and can do many things. Well, I remember about popular, meaning he said that everyone knows about them in the first paragraph. But the reason that everyone knows about them is because of their appearance. He went on to describe their appearance and said that the reddish brown breast and the gray back were things that caused the bird to be easily remembered. So this answer choice doesn't even have correct information that was presented in the text. So it's not correct answer. Next, robins are a happy bird because of their singing and ability to hop. I remember reading about ability to hop in paragraph 3. And the reason that it hopped was because this dealt with because they either live in trees and they live on the ground, and some of them walk, hop, and he runs. So again, incorrect information, doesn't even match with the title. I don't think that's what the author's trying to share. Robins are special because they know how to talk to humans. He didn't say that was what made them special. He said they are unique in the fact that, let's see, next to the next building, and he talks about not talking, but they just simply can sing a song. So he doesn't mention with talking. And then robins are unique because they make their nest out of clay. That is a factual idea that is mentioned in paragraph 5, and it's also mentioned again in the title. So I would see this as the main idea. The topic of the robin and the ideal is that they're making the clay pots. Okay, so now we're used to these part A, part B types of questions. We've already answered part A, and we said that robins are unique because they make their nests out of clay. Now, which sentence from Robin the bird that loves to make clay pots supports the answer to part A? So part A, look at your key words. You're dealing with nests out of clay. So once you read through all of your options, which of these mention or support nests out of clay? It wouldn't be singing as the robin's gift. Okay, this one mentions pottery. So I'm thinking strongly that this would be my best choice. This one doesn't support nest and clay. And this one just goes on to describe the reason the robin is so popular because of his color and these things. So here, again, I see the word nest and I see clay. And so this supports my answer to part A. Okay, one more time. I want you to do the same thing. You're going to Pause the video while you read Saving Hawaiian Monk Seals, and when you're ready, you'll press play and we'll check your work. Okay, if I'm back on, I assume you have finished reading now. So let's see. Saving Hawaiian Monk Seals. If this is my first time reading, I'll start at my title and I kind of see if I can narrow down the topic, which would be the Hawaiian Monk Seals. That's the topic. And idea. What is it that this author wants to share about these seals? And I noticed the term saving. So now I'm kind of interested to see, what is saving? Why do they need to be saved? How do people plan to save them? What is it they're going to tell me? So then I would go ahead and continue to read the passages and look for that main idea. So let's see. We have our different answer choices, A, B, C, and D. And we'll use our process of elimination. And I could strongly cross out C and D because and they don't do anything about ending pollution. They don't tell people anything about being aware of polluting, that they're polluting in those types of things. So C and D, I knew right away I could get rid of. Okay, A and B. A, scientists are trying to learn about what the monk seals eat. And B, scientists are trying to find out what is causing the drop in the monk seal population. Saving is in the title. And I noticed they continue to say scientists were fearing the population. They wondered if they were getting enough to eat, or they wonder if it was something in the habitat. So the steps that they were taking, or how were they saving, I think it would be B is the best answer, because saving, that's how they're going to save them. They have to first figure out what's causing the drop in the population. So B would be the main idea of the passage. Okay, so what to do now? Next steps are going to be, you will click the link to go to Flowcabulary. You're going to enjoy the video there, and then you're going to complete, read, and respond. Then, since you've had a little more practice, the last thing that you will need to do would be to complete and submit your exit ticket to see how well you can find the main idea. Okay, so go ahead and get busy, then take some time out to chill out and read, and I will see you on tomorrow.